Hello, everybody. Was there a game that you really love, but just can't seem to get back into playing? Welcome to the Switch Clicks podcast, episode 151. I'm your Kaiser, and with me right now are my friends and life partners, or should I say co-hosts, Nathan
Hello there.
and, oh, last but definitely not least, Tyler.
Hello.
Now, we have had a lot. There was a lot of games that we were just talking about earlier, right? Games that we just like, well, how we felt about them. Like we
Mm-hmm.
loved them to death. We
hmm
would play them to death, but no, not now.
Yeah, we've already had that discussion a few episodes back, actually, about the games that are guilty pleasure games, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now it's
Stuff
time to
that
get
we.
negative.
Yeah, let's go. Let's take the opposite route. Take the games that we really love, but we just can't go back to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Be it
Or as
for
or as I could
side
say,
reasons, it's boring. We'll see. We'll see how where it takes us.
mm,
We each all chosen two games each for this
Mm-hmm.
this discussion. I may have some honorable mentions here.
Fair enough.
oh, I wouldn't blame you. I would not blame you.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
had a couple that was struggling to really say, but I had to choose. I really did have to narrow those two games down.
hmm
Oh,
Well,
yeah, I know the feeling.
it was your idea, so I
It
think
was your
Kaiser should
idea.
take the first game.
Yeah, Kaiser. No pressure.
oh yeah. Now I'm a big fan of a lot of RPGs, right? Particularly the Dragon Quest series. Now, as much as I love Dragon Quest V, I cannot
Okay.
really get back to playing Dragon Quest IX. Ugh,
Huh.
Oh
curveball
dear.
there. Now, Dragon Quest IX, definitely one of the most fun on a gameplay standpoint, the most refined on the gameplay standpoint too. Kind of my issue real with like the game fundamentally is that story wise it's not as strong as the other series. Doesn't feel as connected. It's kind of it feels like you're doing side quests first before proceeding with the main quest.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Think now when I
I
say
hate
this,
that feeling.
think of it like how with Pokemon you have your eight gym leaders,
Yeah.
and then yeah, you go to the championship. It kind of presents you that order to go about things, right? How you would go, oh hey, so I just do this, do that. I get the TMs, the HMs. I can actually progress through the game. It feels a lot more natural, right?
hmm
Okay.
Because of how open Dragon Quest IX is to a degree, uh, actually doing the main quest doesn't feel like you're playing the main quest.
Huh.
Hmm.
I'm not. I'll say this: as much as I do love open world, I prefer there to be a more straightforward direction to a lot of RPGs. These really, I'm not super big
Okay.
on these really big sandboxes. If you look at something like, oh, Skyrim, and eventually Starfield or whatever it's called.
The new one.
Yeah,
Is Dragon Quest XI not a big open world?
it is not as open. Well, kind of the thing with Dragon Quest XI is that there's still it still has a sense of linear progression because it's not super open compared to Dragon Quest IX,
Okay.
where the
Like
game
it's
is pretty much all right. You get the ship, do whatever.
okay. It's more like this might be a bad example, but like a Persona 5 where you can do as much stuff as you want, but you have one objective and that's kind of the main thing you can do.
Yeah, it's yeah. I think it's a more fair comparison because of how
Oh, fair
Persona
enough.
5 actually handles itself in terms of like the day system. Yeah, I as much as I do enjoy a lot of Persona games, uh, 5 has like those issues too, right? where it's just progression is locked behind like days. It's just once it passes, it's like bam, which I think is
Hmm.
great for like linear progression. It how you manage your time, how you manage those days, right? And then you get to something like Dragon Quest IX or those big open world RPGs or sandboxes like say Breath of the Wild. It's just that sense of direction kind of lies within, hey, I could do this, but I could also do that. And it's just kind of that information
Huh.
overload. And that kind of just, okay, that's a lot for me to handle sometimes.
Yeah, no, that
This
makes sense.
this is actually very relatable, to be honest with you. And you were actually right about Breath of the Wild. And I gotta say, Tears of the Kingdom as well. I had even though I'm very enthusiastic about open world games, it does get very overwhelming in that sense if you don't build that structure yourself. Um, it's very
Yeah.
self-reliant. It's very self-reliant on the player to make the game feel linear. Otherwise, they're just running around like a headless chicken, and there's just doesn't feel like there's a real end goal in that sense.
Yeah, and it's also
Yeah.
weird when you go into like a big open game with side quests and stuff where like you're
Hmm.
playing a video game but you're procrastinating in the video game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Xenoblade. Well, that's a lot of JRPGs in general.
Oh,
Ooh,
Yeah.
look, look at the
speaking
shiny
of
dangly
which,
keys. Ooh, oh,
Oh,
speaking of which,
perfect
ooh, shiny
segue.
dangly keys.
one of my choices here was actually the Xenoblade Chronicles trilogy.
You know
Um,
what?
Okay.
I actually do not blame you. Oh my god.
I absolutely love the narrative in this trilogy. I don't know about X, but I absolutely love the narrative, the soundtrack, the cutscenes, everything about the Xenoblade Chronicles games.
Hmm.
But I never really committed to playing any of them. Like I tried
Double
to do
spinning edge.
double spinning edge. I tried to do two. I tried to do definitive edition. I didn't even get three. I didn't even have time to get three.
Hmm.
Um, I really want to go through them, but I hear that because they're big open worlds and there's a lot of procrastination and sidetracking and backtracking, and some side quests are timed as well, and a lot of grinding, and this game's just taking hundreds of hours and to complete each.
Yeah.
I just never really took the time to play them. It's I don't know if it's because I'm not I don't know if it's because I'm not patient or if it's just because I know it's going to be a massive commitment that I don't have time for. But ultimately, as much as I praise these games, as much as I really want to play these, I just can't. I just can't.
Like
Yes.
I completely sympathize with you because like I feel like as soon as you go into like howlongtobeat.com and a game breaks like the triple digits, it's just
Yeah.
super daunting. Even
Yeah,
if it's like
very
the
daunting.
smoothest 100 hours of your life, that like
Mhm.
looking at oh this game's 100 hours long is just it's like very much puts me off to wanting to play it.
Yeah. It's
But
surprising too because most of the people who get put off by Xenoblade typically say it's because of the mechanics. But to me, I've
Mhm.
already gotten a grasp of the mechanics. They're actually pretty fun to learn, and I really love the combat system. But once again, back to the game's length. Jeez, that just takes hundreds of hours. It is a lifetime commitment.
yeah.
Yeah, oh my god. Especially since in terms of progression, you're going to have to do the side quests, not because you have to, not because you want to, but if you really do want to get XP a little faster,
Hmm.
Mhm.
you're
Yeah,
gonna have to do side quests.
It's
yeah.
always so funny seeing games like Starfield, for example, almost being advertised as like the only game you're going to need for the rest of your life. And that's such an insane thing to me because that's
Yeah.
like not even remotely what I want.
Me
I
neither.
want
I
to
don't
have
think.
fun. I want to have a good game, not a mediocre experience. All right.
I feel
You
like if
mean
it
you
was the
mean
best game of all time, I don't think I'd want to play it for the rest of my life.
Yeah, look at speed. I mean, unless you're actively doing stuff for like in
Mm,
the game in terms of like, hey, I want to do this, do that, or if you're really big in the community, such as if you're a speedrunner, right? Yeah, it would make sense. It would make much more
Hmm.
sense. But
oh yeah, yeah, that makes
Or
sense.
modder
oh,
Yep.
true. Modding, physics, and like,
physics. Yep. That's
Yep.
I mean, that's pretty much what makes that's what makes many Bethesda games last quite long. It's the replay value of being able to create your own character, being able to mod it or speedrun it. There's just so many more opportunities there.
being
Yeah.
able to break the game wide open more than you should
Mhm.
because the
Yeah,
games are held together, not even with duct tape. It's just like string that's barely hang on.
elastic bands that have been used
Yeah.
Ooh,
extensively.
yeah.
There's like the little like the tiniest little bit of elastic still keeping it intact
Yep,
when you're stretching it.
yep.
Yeah, it's got a lot of tension. It'll be okay.
But yeah, yeah, no, I completely understand what you're saying. And yeah, like speaking of Xenoblade and Shulk, um,
Don't just spin
I,
again. Shit.
Really feeling
my
it.
my first game is Smash 4. And this game is probably close to the Super Smash Bros. Game that I have the most hours in. Maybe Ultimate recently beat it out.
Mhm.
But Ultimate has just ruined it. Ultimate has just ruined playing Smash 4 because it just made a better game.
100% agree.
It's
It's just a
like
superior game. Yeah.
every Smash Bros. Game outside of Smash 4 has kind of its own unique feeling that people
Yeah.
can come back to. Smash like 64 is the first one. Melee has
Yeah.
a huge community. Brawl is vastly different from everything else. And then
Mhm.
It
Smash
has the best
4
PC game.
is Smash 4 is just Smash Ultimate but worse.
Yeah, it's pretty much just like Smash Ultimate beta.
Yeah, it's so crazy because like it when you first start playing Ultimate, you don't really notice any like a crazy difference, and
Yeah,
it's
it
only
feels
when
like
you go back that you
it
see
feels like
how
a regular
much
Smash
different.
game.
It's so weird.
Going back,
How
it's I don't know how to
like they just like tricked you, they bamboozled you into not seeing Smash Bros the same by like even just like the way they had like the weird I don't remember what it's called, but the way they do knockback in Ultimate compared to Smash 4.
Oh
Where
yeah,
it
it goes
just
like
looks
super
weird
fast.
now. Yeah, and it's just completely thrown off only Smash 4 somehow, even though they did it for all the other games. All the other games still look fine to me. But
because they have something to present.
I think so. And it's such a
Yeah.
weird dilemma.
Yeah, the only thing Smash 4 actually has that's unique, that's remotely unique, besides a garbage classic mode, is Smash Run and Smash Tour.
That's
That was
true.
literally it. And like,
And the
okay,
better one's locked on a handheld.
yeah, the better one's
Yeah.
locked on a handheld, and the other version just has the most playable controllers ever.
Yeah.
But
I think
that-
personally the only thing that Smash 4 has going for it is it's kind of like Ultimate but has the green Link design, or at least a good one.
Twilight
Ah,
Princess Link,
superior
let's
Link.
go! My favorites.
But yeah,
But,
it's so weird how it's just
I agree
like
with you there. It's just
uh,
the game just doesn't feel relevant anymore. It's
Yeah.
not like
well, because
it's not like
it isn't.
Brawl. Brawl actually, it has a story mode. It has Subspace Emissary,
Yeah,
but more
Brawl
importantly,
has those renders that's like Mario graphics in 2012.
yeah, I don't know why. It's just Brawl is Brawl has a nitty gritty kind of feeling to it, so
Mhm.
it seems unique from the rest of the games.
I
And then you have
hmm.
you have Melee and Smash
Yeah.
64 being the tourney stuff. So
I think updates might have kind of been like might be a good reason that it's hard to come back to it as well. Like I feel like if
Easy.
Brawl had Wi-Fi updates that like fixed its glitches and balances and balanced
Yeah.
the game out, that would kill that would kind of ruin it. Like I feel like Smash outside of Subspace, the thing going for it is it has like such a like you can see a Twitter clip of Meta Knight zero to deathing you, and it's like, whoa, I wouldn't see that in any other Smash game. Where in Smash 4, anytime they had similar things like weird glitches that could become fun, they're patched out quickly.
Yeah, that could have been there
So
for much longer.
Well, except
you
for
don't have. That's
except
true.
for except for two very specific
There's
fighters.
two cut fighters who it's yeah, but it's so weird. Like it's almost like until it's like they spent so long just kind of flattening out all like the wrinkles that gave it personality, and then
Yeah.
right at the end just give it two really obvious wrinkles that just make it look kind of ugly now. Where like a bunch of wrinkles is kind of cool, but two big wrinkles and then just a flat sheet of cloth or whatever this metaphor is going for is such
Yeah.
a weird thing to be living with. Because like remember in I don't know if you do, like in the first patch of Smash 4, if you're charging Pac-Man's forward smash and then pause the game, he just floats off screen. And that's kind of funny.
Oh my gosh,
yes,
that
yeah.
I've not
Boy.
heard about that in a long time. That,
Yeah.
that takes me back.
Here's not
That-
to say.
It was
Inco-
patched out
inco-
almost
inco-
immediately, and it's like I don't know. It just feels like they
gave
they
up.
stripped all the personality out of Smash 4 and then plopped it with two like huge anchors and let it sink.
Yeah. Let it sink so that Ultimate could rise.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
How
thing
do
about
you
Ultimate
feel?
though.
You.
It's just I mean, Ultimate kind of had its own identity of being like a new game every single update, every single
Wow.
big
Mhm.
major
This
patch.
game feels worse than before.
Like remember
Yeah.
like version 1.0 Ultimate with like Glass Cannon Pichu and
Well, I would
Ultimate
say
Monado
Glass Cannon-
Shulk.
Here's the thing.
Actually
Ultimate-
usable
ulti-
K rule.
Actual usable K rule.
Yeah, you had Cannon. You had Cannon Pichu. There- because there
Cannon
wasn't enough
Pichu,
glass.
no longer glass.
Not as much
Mhm.
glass. Too much Cannon. Not enough glass. All right.
A transparent aluminum Pichu.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hope you got that reference.
I don't think I did. I'm gonna be honest.
Kaiserwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried. I don't think they're going to make another game. Like they're not going to make Ultimate but with more characters. They're
Mhm.
probably going to do something. They're going to reinvent the wheel or something. But
But
it is kind of funny where I think if they do just make Ultimate but bigger, it will just do the same thing where it kind of sweeps Ultimate under the rug, and it's such a weird way to design. I mean,
yeah,
it's just a strange way to design video games because it's not like
mean-
after you play Mario Galaxy, you can never play Mario Sunshine again. You can go back to
that's
Mario
big
Sunshine.
with a lot of fighting games, actually. How it's just, hey guys, look at the shiny new version. Let's play it, and people flock over to it because it's the shiny new version.
Yeah.
That's literally what happens with Guilty Gear. From like, oh look, you have Guilty Gear Xrd Rev. Let's go to Rev 2 because it's the shiny new version.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of sad to see because I don't know.
Yeah.
It feels like you lose out on funky little bits, and that's kind of like I kind
I
of think
don't.
Melee's cool that it's
I
able
don't.
to. I don't love the game, but I do think it. Yeah, the fact that it's kind of able to keep its wrinkly self and didn't just get completely run over is a neat way to go about it.
yeah. I find that also true with well, I think Kaiser knows more than me, but certain versions of Street Fighter 2 have been able to hold their grounds even past the newest version of it, the so-called newest version.
Mm-hmm.
In that sense,
Yeah, like, and the thing is, there's only like 3-ish games that have like that are still being played. I would say competitively, but mostly to this day. Championship Edition because it actually features every character in Street Fighter 2 before Super.
Mhm.
Super, not Super Turbo, like Turbo or Dash in Japan.
okay,
Because, of course. And then you get to Super Turbo, aka the one people like everyone plays because it's the Street Fighter game, right?
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
now we kind of aimlessly deviated off our original topic here, but I'm kind of hopeful that we have a decent segue here.
Oh.
Kaiser, is your second game a fighting game by any chance?
Surprisingly, no, not at all.
Oh,
Okay. Wow. What is it?
Like, I see fighting games a lot, but the thing is, a lot of the time I do have motivation to play some older titles. Just the other day, I was playing some 95 and 96 actually,
Yeah.
despite how obviously dated they were. Actually,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
it's in the name, right?
give
You'll
us
hear
the
it.
deets. What's your second game?
What is that second game then?
All right, gotta hype it up a little. It's a game that you're not super familiar with, a game that you may have heard from me, but haven't actually like really looked into it. It's Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn.
Okay. I'm gonna have to
Uh,
look that one up to remember which one it is.
I
It's the one. It's the second game
Ike.
of like
I knew you were. I knew you were gonna say that. I haven't
yeah,
heard you talk enough about Radiant Dawn though.
Oh, it's yeah. Ike.
yeah. Well, the other game of like
This
The
other
second
game
uh,
game
of
of
Ike.
Ike.
Second Ike.
Muscular Ike.
I
yeah.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
Muscular
so the
Ike.
one with where he got a little bit on the juice. It's like you can obviously tell he's not Natty. Though
Prepare yourself.
I have to say about Radiant Dawn is that it genuinely still is one of my favorite Fire Emblem games of all time. My second favorite, in fact. Only one game has. If it were for like FE5, I would not have put. I would have put Radiant Dawn at the top, but
Mm-hmm.
in terms of scale and also like gameplay, right? The game is really, really good and has a lot going for it. I just feel like I can't play it not because of the scale, but because of how grating it feels to get past certain sections. Now,
Hmm.
Fire Emblem fans that
Hmm.
have heard of or have played Radiant Dawn, we all know about the Dawn Brigade, like the first part. It's not. I actually like it. I think it's great for what it does. But in terms of character power, like sometimes getting through the first part of the game is feels a little grating compared to the later to like the next parts where you have this high level of character power and balance and utility all around, right?
Hmm.
Because you got because part two you get some characters back. It's like yeah, they're actually really strong. In part three, you get Ike in the gang back. You can finally play as Ike. Like, and then
Okay.
you
Hmm.
realize, it's like, damn, all these characters, but what about everybody else? And then you
Oh.
realize that not a lot of people really get that uh, availability factor. It feels like sometimes it's lagging behind, right? The game and the characters. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right.
Interesting. So like, you get characters and then they're like locked behind story reasons, like, and you can't use them again. Is that the?
Yeah. Think of it like how, yeah, you have your main Pokemon team, right? I'm trying to like
Yeah.
kind of relate it to kind of like good, like explain it in Pokemon terms, right? Just like, so you have
Explain
a
RPG in
team.
Pokemon terms. I don't understand.
Okay. Can you explain it for Nah. Now, what
Guy who's
happens is
only
that,
seen Boss Baby. This is giving real Boss Baby vibes.
yeah.
Oh
So
dear.
what happens is that you have your main team of Pokemon. Oh, that's great, right? You get to the third gym leader. You're given a new team that you have to use. It's like, oh wow, that's crazy, right? For the rest of for like the next five gyms,
Oh.
and then to like the champion, like you're almost at the champion. Hey, here's your old team back.
And okay, yes, that is definitely weird because you
That
can't.
is very weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can definitely see how that's annoying.
the thing is, like, it kind of bounces back and forth, right? I do think the maps are still fair. They're balanced in a way that's actually fun. Well, it kind of the parts system does. I would say hurt. It enhances the game in most parts, but hurts the game in others.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
But yeah,
All
as
right,
much as
Nate.
I love FE10, I highly recommend it for anyone interested in FE. But it's just sometimes it's hard for me to get back into it.
Yeah,
Wow.
Hmm.
that's fair enough. All right, Nathan. Let's hear it. What's game number 2?
Well, this one's a tragic one.
Oh.
This is a game that I've never actually beaten yet,
Huh.
and it's also one of my favorite games from my childhood, and even today,
Whoa.
Oh my god.
I've never bothered beating it for whatever reason. It's also another RPG,
Oh no.
turn-based
Oh.
RPG.
Oh no, Golden Sun?
No. It's a fan favorite GameCube title.
Oh no.
Pokemon Emerald.
No.
No,
Well, I do
okay.
have Gale of Darkness, but no, I don't play that. It's Paper Mario, the Thousand Year Door.
Oh. Interesting.
I can't say enough about how much I love this game, but I have never ever beaten it, and I've never ever bothered to go back to it to finish it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't
Yeah.
know why. It's always been like at the front. It's always in my head, and then I'm like, wait, I could just be playing this instead, and I just never think about the game for like a couple more weeks.
It just comes up at the wrong time.
It comes up every single time. Yeah, it comes up at every wrong time possible.
Huh. Fair enough. Yeah.
Like if I had
that's-
all the time in the world, then then maybe I'll play it. But once again, this is more of a time thing. Without having enough time, I don't think I'm able to actually devote some time into this game, even though it's not as long and as gargantuan as the Xenoblade trilogy. It still kind of feels like a big commitment, and I don't know. I really like the Paper Mario series. It's just I don't want to. I have this temptation to just go away from it for whatever reason. I can't even explain it. Like it's
Yeah.
just like I could
Oh.
be playing something else, but I also enjoy this a lot.
I definitely have a couple games like that. In fact, it's kind of similar to my third game.
Oh,
But I'll-
gosh.
But I feel like I've given you like 30 seconds. So I'll you can keep talking about your game.
Well, I mean, everyone already knows about what Thousand Year Door plays like. There's nothing more I can gush about it because everything that people like, I also like. I like the progression system. I like how the combat's designed. I like the story, all the character interactions. I like the exploration and the item system. Everything about it. Even the collectibles are fun because they actually help you in the game.
Damn,
It's
that's crazy.
amazing. It's crazy. But at the same time, I don't know. It could just be because it's just stuck on GameCube. Maybe that's why. Like if it was on something more handheld like my Switch, maybe I'd be playing it more.
That's your door port.
You're saying
I don't
that
want-
into like your Nintendo microphone, like your direct connection to
Oh yeah.
Mr. Nintendo.
Yes.
If it was on the Switch, I'd buy it.
If only it was on the Switch. Yeah. If only it was remastered.
Make a $70 port.
I would still buy it. I would still buy well, not $70, but I'd still buy a $60 port of this game and play it to death.
If only
It's-
someone was to add GameCube to the
Yeah, I
Nintendo
always-
Switch Online membership.
If only someone was to make an HD remaster, just like they did with Metroid and Pikmin.
I say 70 because we're converting from USD to ROM.
It's 80 bucks Canadian for a $60 game, 60 American.
Yeah, $60 in right and $80 in wrong.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Thousand Year
Frozen.
Door. I haven't been spoiled too much about it though, thankfully.
Oh.
I know I've only seen like glimpses of, like a bit of a plot twist here and there. I've seen a picture of the ending cutscene, but I still don't know how the story plays out. Which
Oh, that's
I'm
that's very cool.
I'm very glad for.
You're really
I
lucky.
it still gives me motivation to go back to the game and play it.
Well,
That's-
don't read the potential comments on this video.
Uh-oh.
'Cause
I
they
probably
might-
won't.
Oh, malicious intent. Like, something malicious is brewing.
Something malicious is brewing. Someone's
I
gonna
feel
like type
I
out
feel
a
like you
10-page
can't-
essay.
Can't say that on the internet because then some dastardly fiend will show their face.
I'm gonna
I
type. Oh, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna like pop into the comments and see this 10-page essay or this 10-page
ex-
essay of the whole
Just
plot
the
of the game.
script. Yeah.
Just the whole script of the game, the whole transcript of the game.
Hmm.
yeah. So this is the part where Mario dies.
Yeah, that's
Oh
actually how the game
no!
ends.
Damn you,
That's-
Kaiser!
So
You
Well,
of all
where-
people.
Mhm. I'm not. I'm worse. All right. I will. I will actively be worse about spoiling games. All right.
Hmm. I kind of feel bad for leaving myself to be last because this game's really anticlimactic.
Let's hear
My second game is Spider-Man: Web of Shadows. So this
wow.
game, it came out in
Oh,
like 2007, 2008 for like the
That takes me
Xbox,
back.
Wii, and PlayStation.
Yeah.
I loved this game as a kid. It's one of the only games my dad has ever beat. And I watched him beat the game, and I really wanted to play it too, and I'd play it all the time. And then I
Yeah.
turned like maybe 13-ish, and I'm
Mhm.
like, I need some money. I need that EB game dollar. So what do I do? How do I get this EB game dollar? Easy. Let's give away some video games. And one of those games in that pile is Spider-Man: Web of Shadows for the Wii. And I give it away, buy like a $3 copy of, I don't know, like Just Dance or something. And that's it.
Wow.
That and years later I am regretting this choice actively because you go and look up for Web of Shadows on anything and it is expensive. But I finally find a copy for the Wii like I had before, and I boot it up and it is ugly.
Oh.
Hi. Oh man, it is not the game you want to get on the Wii, I have to say. Because like you look at the 360 and stuff, and like you actually have pedestrians walking around
Whoa.
and
Mm.
I
like
could actually beat up
a
civilians.
decent city. But
Wow.
man, getting this game in my hands after playing Spider-Man PS4 and trying to play it with a Wii remote and nunchuck because it doesn't let
Oh.
you use anything else.
Oh,
And
that sucks.
You're
That's too
banned to
bad.
these two controllers.
Oh.
And the city looks like a PS2 game, and there's like no like they simply can't handle an open world with pedestrians, so there isn't gonna be any, or
You
if
wanna-
there are, they have like an incredibly low render distance. It is an abysmal experience.
you
This
you want to
was
know what's even more? You want to know what's more ironic about that statement?
What's more ironic? What could this possibly be?
There's a PS2 and PSP version of this game
Oh.
that's actually made for those consoles.
I've oh man, I think there's Xbox 360 as well, and I have been I need to
Oh,
get
the-
my hands on it because it's an
360
actual
PS3.
playable.
Yeah.
I would love to play like an actual
Yeah.
working copy, but I imagine
Yeah.
PS2, PSP is about the same quality as the Wii.
Oh no, you'll be surprised. It's actually a different game.
Oh,
Title
is
with
it?
the same title. Yeah.
Oh, it's one of those situations.
It's a 2.5D side-scrolling beat 'em up game.
Of course. Yeah, that makes sense.
Imagine if
But-
they put the Wii version on. Oh, I mean, that probably would have changed the whole situation for you. But
Well, I
man.
wasn't an Xbox owner until the Xbox One came out, so I didn't have the chance to play it on an actual workable hardware. I'm surprised. Maybe that's the reason my dad doesn't play video games is because he played Spider-Man: Web of Shadows on the Wii, and he's like, "This, I can't play anything like this ever again. This was
game
abysmal."
sucks.
Oh my gosh.
It's like you have to. I think it requires motion controls to like swing and do web
Oh,
zips.
that is painful.
And whenever you see a clip of this game in action, it's like someone on the 360 doing
Yeah.
the most absurd combo on this like poor symbiote. And
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, I wish I could do that. And it requires like conductor skills. You have, it's not a great experience. I bet I could beat it if I want to, but not a recommended experience at all.
Yeah, I think it's one of those games also that they kind of don't let you buy anymore too. Like you can't get this on you can't get the 360 version on like Game Pass or something.
Ah,
So
yeah.
good luck in getting this game. Good luck if you're.
I think I'm saving my money for Spider-Man 2. I think I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah, you're probably better off getting the Insomniac game.
Mhm.
Hey, this game, Web of Shadows, was made by Treyarch. Wow, I did
I
not know
do
that.
seemingly remember that.
I did not know that. I knew
Not
they made
surprised.
the older Spider-Man games, but I did not know this was their last Spider-Man game.
I
Wow.
think it's supposed to be one of the better ones
The last
on
good
like the good.
Spider-Man game.
Oh yeah, people love this game. People loved Web of Shadows, I've heard.
I think it's very like there's just a couple cutscenes that I remember because like you can pick good mode and bad mode, and so
Good
you
mode
beat
and
up
bad
like
mode.
yeah, like you beat up Wolverine, and at the end you're like, what do you do with Wolverine? Spare him, and then it's like good Spider-Man, kill him,
Yeah.
and it's like evil Spider-Man.
Evil screwed up Spider-Man.
And
Kill him.
and if you pick evil mode, you like rip him in half because he's
Oh,
Wolverine. He heals.
shoot.
But they don't show it. They just show Spider-Man holding him up, and then he grunts, and it like cuts to black, and you just see an obvious one Wolverine model, like his torso up,
Yeah.
and the rest of him's just off screen.
Oh
So
my
it's just
god.
obviously a
That's
full
pretty metal,
Wolverine model.
Actually. That sounds hilarious. Actually,
It's just a full Wolverine model cut off, like just the camera cuts it off at the waist, and then a second Wolverine model in front of him, and it's just the legs down, like shaking a little bit.
Oh man.
We'll walk it off. It's okay.
Yeah. But yeah, if this game wasn't on the Wii, I would play it a lot, I think.
Yeah.
Big filtered
Oh.
by
Oh man,
Those
filtered
are
by
so words.
hardware limitations, changing
Yeah.
your impression of the game, changing your dad's impression of the game. Man,
Yeah.
that's rough. But hey, at least you got to experience the game in general.
I didn't beat
Better
it,
than
but I
nothing.
was
You
able to.
didn't beat it.
I did not beat it because I couldn't get through it, but I did. It was the same as I remember it. I think I stopped
Yeah.
on like the same mission I stopped on as a kid because I couldn't figure out how to do it, and I knew how
Yeah.
to do it now, but I was now too. I was too bored to continue.
Too
it.
bored,
So
yeah.
it's cut me off at this specific point.
Yeah. Now, I think even though we've gone through all of our games so far,
Mhm.
I think we all have maybe a couple of honorable mentions we want to bring up.
I don't have any, but go off.
Okay. My first honorable mention is probably Breath of the Wild, because I mean, obviously I'm still playing Tears of the Kingdom, and
Mhm.
playing that might feel I'm a little scared that Breath of the Wild might feel a little primitive or outdated.
Yeah.
I'm also very I'm not sure if that's entirely true or not, but I'm not finished Tears of the Kingdom, or at least 100%ing it yet, so
Mm.
that game can wait. My second game, or at least a pair of games, is the Mario plus Rabbids games.
Interesting.
Yeah, okay, I like them, but they don't really connect to me the same level that like Xenoblade and Paper Mario do. They're fun to pass the time, but I don't think I can like commit to them that much. As fun as their story is, it just doesn't seem like something I'd be wanting to play every day to complete. Play to death in that sense.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just a game that you don't. It's one of the games you don't come back to. Like there's
Yeah.
some games that don't age great, some games that have been taken over by others, and some that just only really work as a one-time experience.
Yeah, it's not on my priority list in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
Kaiser, do you have any honorable mentions?
Ooh, there's only really one honorable mention. Hey, that's actually Hades. Like, game's fun.
Oh,
Game's fun.
Great game.
Game's great. Game's great.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling it right now. Maybe
Just not
later,
feeling it.
just
Mm.
not now.
I kind of feel it similar with Enter the Gungeon.
Yeah.
Love that game a lot, but I feel like other roguelikes just do just a little bit of something different.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's the easiest game to pick up, but I feel like it will be probably one of the last roguelikes I actually complete.
It does feel like
It's
that.
also very hard. It's not easy. So that's also probably another reason.
Just wait till you
takes-
try
takes
Nuclear
more-
Throne.
Oh dear.
Thank you for joining us and discussing games that we don't feel like playing. We would love it if you could follow us on Twitter/X and Threads. Listen to future episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and our other podcast platforms. Join the community Discord server to continue today's discussion, and we'll see you next time on the Switch Clicks Podcast.